Hey everybody, Captain Silvertooth here from Infographic News for Kids. Today is Tuesday, February 26th of 2019. Our mission is to inform the youth of all nations of the world being created for them to inherit. How is your Tuesday going, guys? I hope it's going fantastic. Our constitutional quote for today is the 23rd Amendment of the United States Constitution, which reads, "District constituting the seat of government of the United States shall appoint in such manner as Congress may direct, a number of electors of President and Vice President equal to the whole numbers of senator and representatives in Congress to which the district would be entitled if it were a state, but in no event more than least populous. They shall be in addition to those appointed by a state, and they shall meet in the district and perform such duties as provided by the 12th article of amendment." In my video on Friday, I asked you guys what is prohibition, and prohibition is the action of forbidding something, especially by law. That's what prohibition is. I also asked you guys, how does the 22nd Amendment limit the government? The 22nd Amendment limits the government to only 2 terms in office, which would equal up to a total of 8 years in office. So it only allows the president to be the president for 2 terms of 4 years. So each term is 4 years, and all that's only 8 years. So that's what it limits it to. And now for the news. Transgender runners place first and second at girls track championship. Terry Miller and Andrea Yearwood dominate their female competitors in the 55-meter dash, marking their latest 1-2 finish in a girls' race. So they are males transitioning to females. And this was their latest race, and they won first and second place, so they're really happy about it. So, and as they should be excited because they just won a big race, but at the same time they technically cheated because they are technically biological males running as females, and I find it unfair because they're still biological males and they're competing as females, and they're competing against against other females even though they are males. I think they cheated just because of the rules of sports. You know, men are supposed to compete against men, women are supposed to compete against women. Biological men are supposed to compete against biological men. Biological women are supposed to, yeah. So it just all kind of confuses me, and I don't really agree with it because, you know, men are known to be faster, stronger, and more capable of sports most times. Most times. Not all the time, but most times. A lot of times. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Or back to the news, rather. Miller's time of 6.95 seconds in the 55-meter sprint reportedly set a new state indoor record. Miller and Yearwood attend Bloomsfield High School and Cromwell High School, and they respectively been at the center of controversy regarding biological males competing in female sports. They are both reportedly undergoing hormone therapy. One of the young ladies, who was a competitor, named Selena Soule, would likely have qualified for New England's regional events and a chance to showcase her abilities for more colleges if she had finished 6th instead of 8th, because she lost to the two transgenders who are named, I'll say the names again, Terry Miller and Andrea Yearwood. She said, "We all know the outcome of the race before it even starts. It's demoralizing. I fully support and am happy for these athletes for being their true selves. They should have the right to express themselves at school. But athletics have always had extra rules to keep the competition fair," she told the Washington Post. Parents are unhappy with current policies enabling transgender with little restrictions. Parents unhappy with current policies enabling transgender athletes with little restrictions are petitioning for changes that would establish hormone standards or other methods to eliminate unfair advantages. I found this article on Infowars, so if you're interested, you can go check it out on your own. And if not, it's fine too, because I just told you. So, whatever. I love you anyway. I'm not going to get mad. This next article was also found on Infowars, and it is headlined, "Gay and Trans Sex Education to be Taught to 5-year-olds in UK and Opting Out is Illegal." Hello, principal. My son is gonna be sick on these days, so they're not gonna be able to make it to your sex ed classes. You're going to jail. It's not my fault my son is sick. Yes, it is. That's how I see it. Like, if I'll just get to the news, but like, what if my son or my daughter is actually, I don't have a son or a daughter, I was just acting, but what if my son or my daughter is actually sick on a day that they start teaching these lessons and he can't come to school, and the principal's like, "Oh, well, you're just trying to get out of it." I don't know what that was. "Well, you're just trying to get your kid out of it. You're going to jail." Like, what? I'm sorry my son is sick. I'm sorry he has a fever 101.4. Would you like me to send him to school to get all the other kids sick too? It's what it seems like. The UK Conservative government is set to announce plans for the introduction of lessons on homosexuality and transgenderism for primary school students, despite an official petition against the move signed by over 100,000 people. Can I have a pen and sign? I'd sign it. I'd be like, Captain Silvertooth, and I would have signed it. And yeah, because I do not agree with my child having to participate in this lesson, and I would go to jail fighting for my child not to have to do this lesson, because 5-year-olds are too young, 7-year-olds are too young, 11-year-olds are too young, 14-year-olds are too young, 16-year-olds are too young, 19-year-olds are too young. I'd say 21 is the right time to start talking about this. 19 through 21 is the right time. I kind of feel like that. Not really, because I feel like we shouldn't talk about this anyway, because you were meant to be a man and you were meant to be a woman. You were meant to date man because you're a woman, and you were meant to date woman because you were a man. That's how I see it. But no, we're just gonna date the same sex. It's cool. No, it's not. Are you insane? The Sunday Times reports that the new curriculum has been finalized after a 6-month consultation. Consultation. My mouth was not cooperating with me there for a second. Consultation with the Department of Education and will be rolled out across UK schools starting from the 2020 to 21 educational year. It will be taught to pupils from the age of 5 and will be illegal for parents to take their children out of the classrooms for the lessons, meaning that at least a terms of worth of sexual education classes, most likely all students will be attended. Not mine. Mine's sick. Mine's at home sick. I'm sorry. My child isn't actually sick. It's just not going to your stupid lesson because 5 is way too young. I just started kindergarten. I was just potty trained. Like, I was just taught how to use my thing to go to the bathroom. Now you're already talking to me about how I might want to change it? Are you kidding me? I'm so proud of myself. I'm not in pull-ups anymore. I can actually wear underwear because I can go to the bathroom when I need to go to the bathroom. Like, that's how 5-year-olds are. I have siblings, and I was a 5-year-old once too. I remember. They're too young for that type of talk, period. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. Wait until they are older so they actually understand. Not when they don't understand, and that's why they're doing it, because they don't understand and they're going to end up being tricked into doing something that is incredibly stupid because they don't understand. A popular petition to Parliament demanding the opt-out be retained for the length of a child's school education will be debating in the House of Commons on Monday, though it is not expected to affect the schedule for the implementation of legislation. There are some books that they are going to be reading to the children that are highly inappropriate for young minds. One of them is called Tango Makes Three, and it is about 2 gay penguins, however you guys say it, penguins. 2 gay penguins that adopt an egg and create it as its own. So it's 2 gay penguins who make its own baby. So dad and its baby. So yeah, there's that book. It's called Tango Makes Three. And the other one is called The Boy Princess Loves His Dad, a book about transgender and young ages which celebrates a dark-skinned child who loves to cross-dress. Last I checked, there was no such thing as a boy princess. Pretty sure it's just a prince and a princess. You can't be a prince. You can't be a boy and a princess. Like, can't do that. It's not how it works. You cannot be a boy princess. Are you a girl princess or are you a boy princess? I'm a girl princess because that's how it works. You can't be a boy princess. It's not how it works. You're a prince if you're a boy. You're a princess if you're a girl. So, yeah, that's stupid. Like I said, I would not be having my child cooperate and participate in that. I would fight this. I would probably end up taking my children out of school completely and just homeschooling them if this ever happened. I feel like there should be an opt-out because, A, parents may be uncomfortable with it. Now I have the hiccups. And B, religious stuff. Like for some people it's against their religion to have this taught to them at a certain age, and it's just against their religion, period, to like believe in it and have it in front of them, and that's a real life thing. Like, in their eyes, they're sinning. In my eyes, they're sinning. And not the people, but the school is sinning because it's not allowing children to opt out, and because it's forcing it on children, and it's just not appropriate for little children to be thinking like this. Like, if my 5-year-old, I don't have a 5-year-old brother anymore, but if my 5-year-old brother came home to me and was like, let's play princesses, I probably would have been like, yeah, sure, you're 5. But when he was 5, I was 9 and 10, so I wasn't really thinking about it. I was still 9 and 10. I was still young, and dress up was a cool thing. But now, if I had a 5-year-old brother that came to me and was like, let's play princesses, I would have been like, no, you're a boy. I'll play the princess and you play the prince. I'm not gonna allow you to play a princess. I'm not gonna do that. I used to paint my older brother's fingernails, just because I always wanted somebody to play dress up with me, and he was always there. But looking back at it now, I shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have allowed me to do that. And same with my cousin. I used to play dress up with him. And now he asks me sometimes what it's like to be a girl. And I'll be like, why are you asking me that? And he was like, because I think about it sometimes. I think about if I want to be a girl or not. So I kind of had an effect on him that is not so good. And we stopped playing dress up after that. So I feel like kids are too young to learn about this, and I feel like it's inappropriate, and that parents should have a choice in this, but because they don't, apparently, they should do something else with their children. So, yeah, stupid. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think kindergarten is too young to be learning about homosexuality and transgenderism and all of that nature? Do you think that they should still be learning how to count to 10 and tie their shoes? Like, can we teach them that first? Can we finish teaching them how to read and tying their shoes and counting to 10 and writing words? Nope, we're going to focus on transgenderism. Nope, we're going to focus on gayness. Nope, we're not going to teach your kids is the important stuff. We're just going to teach them the stuff they don't need to know yet. Great. That's just great. That's all I'm going to say on that, because that makes me mad. So we're going to move on to this next article. Okay. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez says it's a legitimate question for young people to ask if they should have children because of the threat to climate change. No. I'm having kids. I'm gonna have kids when I'm older, whether this lady likes it or not. I don't feel like that's a legitimate question. She drives me insane with some of the stuff she says and does. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. She drives me insane. And I hate her. Well, I don't hate her. I just strongly dislike her. Strongly. Very strongly. But I don't hate her, because you shouldn't hate anybody. But I strongly dislike her. Ocasio Cortez waxed on about the effects of climate change on young people as she made dinner in an Instagram live feed over the weekend. Quote, there is scientific consensus that the lives of young children are going to be very difficult, and it does lead, I think, people to have the legitimate question, should or is it still okay to have children, she said. I mean, it's not just financially, because people are graduating with $20,000 to $30,000 worth of student loan debt, so they probably can't even afford to have children in their house. This is all what she's saying. Also, just the basic moral question, like, what do we do? And even if you don't have kids, there are still children in the world, and we have a moral obligation to them and to leave a better world for them. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez expressed concern that watered-down legislation to try to counter climate change wasn't enough and would kill us. That article was found on the Daily Mail, so if you are at all interested, you can look it up on the Daily Mail, or just Google Alexandria Ocasio Cortez questions whether we should have kids or not due to climate change. So, yeah, I think she's insane. I think that unless it becomes illegal for children or for people to have children or a certain amount of children, I will be having kids. I will. I want one girl and I want one boy, and I want to name one, I don't know. I'm still too young to be thinking about that. But I'm saying I will choose to have children unless it becomes a thing where it is illegal to have children. Then I'm just out of luck. But unless that day comes where it is illegal for me to have children, I will plan on having children whether this lady likes it or not. Period. Moving on to this next article. This next article was found on Breitbart, and it is headlined, Crazy Rich Asians star Michelle Yeon, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's spelled Y-E-O-N, says, let's not nominate movies for awards based on gender or diversity. One of the many stars of the box office hit movies Crazy Rich Asians said movies and actors should not be nominated for awards solely because of their race, gender, or just to diversify the lists of nominees. Okay, I was not picking my nose. I was scratching the side of my nose like that. I was not picking my nose because that would be disgusting. And I agree with this woman because you shouldn't just choose a movie because, like, it has diverse characters or it has gay people or it focuses on a certain race. You should choose a movie because it's talent and its people are talented and the way it tells the story. You shouldn't just jump, oh, I'm going to add this one to the nominees list because it has gay people in it. Like, that's not fair to the movies that have actual good quality. While actors and actresses are routinely voicing their support for racial and gender quotas in Hollywood, Michelle Yeon said she does not want to see movies and actors be nominated for awards because of their race or gender. Like I said, you wouldn't want to watch a movie or be nominated in a movie, or you wouldn't want a movie to be nominated just because it has a black person in it or just because it has a gay person in it. Because like I said, what about the movies that actually have talent and quality and good things in them, but you want to focus on the diverse part of it? Like, no. Get out of here. I think it's getting more diversified because there are more opportunities created, y'all said. That's where it begins. Like I said, I found that article on Breitbart, and if you are at all interested in any of these, you can always just look them up. But that is all I have for you guys today for the news, so we will jump into the constitutional question, which is, what is the purpose of the 23rd Amendment? And now for the Bible verse. This is from the book of Romans. It is chapter 1, verse 17. It says, "For in the gospel the righteousness that is by faith from first to last, just as it is written, the righteous will live by faith." Hambone the Hilarious is not available to tell his joke today, and I'm very sorry to say that. It makes me sad because I love hearing his jokes. He makes my day when he says them, but he is not here to tell us one today, unfortunately, and it is sad. So everybody comment, "We miss you, Hambone the Hilarious," because he has been out for a little bit. Well, sort of. He doesn't get to do a joke every day, just because he has other things going on in his life. I have other things that are going on in my life, so I don't always get to record every day like I want to. So life just gets difficult sometimes, and I'm sorry. But I hope you guys please like, comment, subscribe, share. I love you guys. Have a wonderful, horrific Tuesday. Love you. Bye. Captain Silvertooth signing out. I just said bye like 3 different times. Bye.